No, hello. It's I think it's 18 May 18, 2022, because I have got my retirement. I have retirement because of my age. In Sweden, we get the retirement when we are 65, but we can go earlier to working, and of course we be retired if we have mental issues or the body issues, something wrong, and we got the same money. But I am retired of my age, and I have never wanted to work in my whole life. And I didn't understood because I tried to work. I tried very hard to work, but I work a short time and then I'd be bored, and I didn't want to work with the same thing the whole time. I am not that person. I need to have something else to do. I'm very flexible, and it have been very hard for me in work. So 1990 I become my own business woman. I have my own business, and then I can make the time whenever I want. I hated to go up early in the morning, go out in the winter time and go to the job, and go to a job where I was not wanted. I have always have hard with my job. I have been bullied my whole life, and of some reason I don't know, because I am a very social person, an outgoing person, but still it doesn't work. But today I understand it, because I was not made, I was not created to be in this world. It's only so that I was already a spirit human. I was not in the world, but I was in the world in drinking and party, those things. But in like working, no, I couldn't. Party and drinking, that you can make up your mind whenever you want to do it, and walk away from it if you don't want it, and these things. But a job, you have to go there to get some money, and but it was not what I wanted to talk about. But I start all my episodes with talking a little light talking, because I know very few people start to listen in the start of the episode. They start to listen later on. So now more have coming and listen to this. So now I can talk about the topic. You have listened at the last episode how God come into my life and took me away from everything, and it was before God came. I was out in the world. I did many things, and I was close to be have a drinker, but I could stop it on my own. I didn't have any help. I have never have any help in my life. I have had to do everything on my own. So today I have hard to ask someone to help me. I ask God to help me. So today's topic is about this 2000 years before what it says in the Bible. Now I'm talking about Christianity, but some of it is in the Torah also, and some religions have this. So it's for most everyone. And you know that I say in the last episode that there was like a higher priest in my home, in my room, where I sit down and waiting for something to happen. And he was there in the corner of my room, and I could see everything on him from his hair down to his feet. And I saw he had sandals, but that was many that have sandals in Jesus' time. And he had a white dress on, and white hair and white beard. And when I meet Jesus in heaven, and when he's coming here and talk, he have red brown hair and pretty white in his skin, but that can be wrong. That's how he showed me, for me to could understand that is Jesus that is coming in the spirit way. So maybe he, when he lived here on earth, I suppose he looked not with the red brown hair. That's what is in the picture that they started to make. And in other countries, the Jesus in picture, they look after where the picture are. In Asia, in Japan and China and those countries in Asia, he have Japanese eyes, this kind of eyes, and in other countries also he can look different. But here in Europe, he looked like the Roman Catholic wanted him to look like. So they make him red brown eyes, hair, and then his eyes can be brown, but it can also be blue. And but that's it's a lie from the Catholic Church. But the Bible is saying that he melted in. The soldiers come to get him, and he ran away from them. Jesus, he ran away. He walked into the crowd, and they couldn't see who he was, because he looked exactly the same as all the other people that in the crowd. So that's what he looked like. That's the most truth describing of Jesus, is how they look like in that time in Israel. And he could have been light-skinned, because the Roman people, the Roman Catholic Church, those people was already there. I don't talk really about the church, but these people was there because they have been in war with the Middle East, and there was people there. And my DNA, when I look into my DNA, I have very much of the Roman people in my DNA. I have this bad Constantine in my DNA. So in some way in the DNA, he was related to Jesus, and make him Jesus be God. So it's very much about that in the world today also, that they give the titles and job to their own people, the family, inside the family. So it says very much about what's going on today also in the church, that their children will become those preachers, those church holders after their father, and they are not at all anointed, and they are not chosen by God to standing in the pulpit. It's only the father that tell them to keep the money, as I don't say church, to keep the money inside the family. Now I see someone clap a hand and laughing about what I was saying, because you know that's true. And now we're going to know when Jesus was born. And when I do my family tree, it says that he was born not 0, he was born 4 years after 0. So he was born year 4. But that we can't be sure of. They try to figure out it. It's the man's thinking and want to have this control over everything. And you know that I have said that many times, that God have given me the freedom that I can accept many different thinking about a subject, and it's okay for me, and I move forward. I don't standing there and fight about what year Jesus was born, for example. And I have many from many different religions on Facebook, and they are fighting with each other for everything. Every topic is so very the man. It's only man. If I write something on that subject on their post, they don't answer me. So it's only man that is fighting, and so it have been the whole time. It's in the religion, is it more man that is fighting with man than women fight with women about subjects? It's sometimes I can't stand it, and I block those people for 30 days. I don't take them away, but I wait to see if they have moved forward and talk fighting about something else. And you know that I was talking my last episode that Jesus Christ come to me in my home in year 2000. So in roughly you say, as we don't know exactly, but he came to my home after 2,000 years, and he's coming for the church, and this is also something that I have understood is wrong, that they think that he's coming for the people, the Jewish people in Israel, and that Israel is that woman that is coming for, the church that is coming for. And I don't want to sound like I'm proud, but what I have seen and heard in the world is that if a religion, or if of these big churches, if they should be the right church where Messiah is coming to, or Jesus Christ, or Jesus, whatever you believe in, that if he should come for the church, he could not come to any of these churches, those big churches that is in the world. He could not come to those religions that is in the world, because they have not created peace here on earth. No one have done it. Though there is very big churches, very big religions all over the world that have spread themselves all over the world, and they could come together to make this planet to be in peace. But they don't do that, because they go for their proud, they go for the money, they don't care about the world. They want to have the money in their pocket, in their bank account, and they want to be seen and be like famous, be on television, in the newspaper, everywhere, but not act on God's words. And I shake my head when I see these people that feed my people, feed the poor people, and then they go out and have lots of clothes and food to give away, and you can see it because they take pictures so everyone can see how they are doing to the poor people. But what the Bible is saying and what God is saying is not about to feed the people in their body. To feed the people is to feed the spirit in them, because everyone have the spirit laying there but it's not working, it's not any action on it. So it must be fed to could start to grow, like the mustard seed, that it have to be one seed planted into them. And that is not literally that eat up this mustard seed and you be a tree. It's not like that. They must be fed in the spirit. Fed in the body doesn't make it. That is not what God is talking about. But they see it literally. They don't look at read the Bible in the spirit and the truth. They are reading the Bible as it is a novel book, like an ordinary book they are reading. You know, when you read a book, you have a picture of something that you read about, and someone else reading the same book, but they have another picture of it. And that is so interesting for they who love to read books, to sit together and discuss the books, and then see that what's different, how they read it. And that's the same with the Bible. When they read, they don't read it in the spirit. If you read in the spirit, there will be no different. But if you read it like a literary book, a normal book that you can borrow in the library, if you read it like that, then you will never coming to know the truth. It says in the Bible that you need to see it and read it in the spirit way, not what's going on in the world. And so there's we don't really know. No one knows. They pretend that they know, those men that sit and leader of religions, but they don't know anything really. If God should tell them, you don't know anything, you lack of knowledge, because you are so proud and you don't want to listen to other people. And then those that is in the small group inside your religion, you can listen. And then you go out and preach, and preach like you know everything. And I know some preachers, they know more about what God is telling and what they can read in the Bible, but they don't tell it because they want what is called sugarcoat preaching, because they want the money. So the money is selling out God to these people, and it's amazing that these preacher, church leaders that have done bad things, very sinful things, they are forgiven and could come back and standing in the pulpit and do their lies, and say their lies, and go on other men's women or women that also flirting with those that they see as idol, as pastors in their church. They do everything. I was in one church. I heard it was in the United States, in a black church, and a Baptist church I was in, and the pastor was very clear. I like that. He told the people, to the women there, he said to them that, please don't put any boxes, don't give me the gifts, put it in front of my doors. He said to them. So this is how God have teach me about what's going on. That there, and I live with one woman that she was traveling around in a thrift store, and she didn't buy for herself. She was buying for her pastor. She could come with 10 pair of shoes and place it in front of his door. That's idol. That's worshipping idol pastors. And so if it be so that Jesus Christ is coming for his church, will it not be those big churches that we have around in this world? Because they don't do what they're supposed to do. And when I was in the United States walking around homeless, there was about a discussion about to come together and discuss religions. So it was the Jewish and Muslim and Christianity. It was those that is under Abraham religions, and I think it doesn't exist anymore because I not hear about it. But in that time, in year 2000, they did a trial. You know that live in United States. They did a trial to have a discussion all over all religions, of the big religions, and come together to one truth together. But that doesn't exist. It doesn't work when they only talking literally, that they don't talk spiritual. It doesn't work. So if it's true that he's coming for the church, then he is coming for the church, because from the start in year 2000 I was cleaned up from everything, and God took me out to be educated in everything. He showed me what's going on all over those churches. I was not all over the world, but it's enough because I was around in United States, and there is leading religions things they take from United States and do it in other countries. So it's like a base there in United States with all kind of religions. So it was enough for me to walk around and be in all kind of godly places, as we call it now. That all the churches that is under Abraham religions, that where I was going, and asked for help, and they didn't help me. I get $25 sometimes, I get $10 sometimes, but that was not what I was walking around to do. I didn't ask them for money. I asked them, I was hungry. I said to them, I have no clothes, and I have no, but most of all was it that I said to them, I have no home, and I don't have any bed to sleep in. And they didn't do anything. They really don't do anything. I was in a Methodist church, and that church leader, he could speak Norwegian, so we could Norwegian languages and Swedish languages is very close to each other, so we could talk. And so he liked me, so I get some little money from him. But he also make me could go away from my homelessness for one weekend, and I was with this Methodist group to out in a very big, beautiful house, a meeting place for Methodist church all over the United States. It's the headquarters. And there I was laying in a bed, and I could eat normal, nice food. And then we have this Alpha book. I think it's called something like that, Alpha book, to the basic learning in Christianity. And of course, I be taken of the Spirit sometimes. So I maybe was not welcome anymore. They didn't like that I was talking out from the book, because when it comes something, I was talking about what have happened with God and what he was saying about that place in the book. So they go angry at this church leader, and they fire him. They really fire him, and he helped me a little, but it was only for a short time, and instead they threw him out from the Baptist church, the Methodist church, and he was sad, but I said to him, you should not be sad, because it's God loves you, I say to him, and he's going to give you much better place to be in. I say to him, and that's happened, because he be like a chef, a master, a boss for the Methodist church in New York, and got a very big house and everything. So that's, and I don't know what have been if they have not kicked him out from that area, if from Virginia Beach, then I maybe have been into Methodist church and be brainwashed of them to not have that connection with God that I have today. So everything of this, that he moved away, be kicked away, that was in God's plan for me, because God wanted me for himself. Like he say that he is not envy. He's a jealous God, he's saying. So he is that to those that he cares for everyone, but special care for, sounds like mental issue, but special that he have chosen people, and that he don't want them to go and get some other gods. That's what he is talking about. A jealous God is that no one else should be called God. That it's not what we see in the world of jealousy. It is about to have other idols, worshipping other than God. And so if we see it more clearly, was it that they come into my home in year 2000 years after Jesus was born, about that. And if we say it more likely, I come back to Sweden in 2004. So when I come back to Sweden, it was 2000 years. It could either be that when they were standing Jesus Christ, as I saw Jesus Christ, but I know today that was a higher priest in heaven, because Jesus showing me that he have red, brown hair and white skin, and so that's not the same person. But it can also be that change that took place on the holy mountain, and when he come down, Jesus, from the holy mountain, he was white. He was white in his hair, white around. So he had been going into the cloud, where those higher priests are in those clouds. They are there. That is those pillar the Bible is talking about, this like a white cloud hanging over the tent, like that. They are there in the cloud, and Jesus come, and he looked like he was white around him. But it can be after follow him in what he had done, that he had been into that white cloud and coming out, and people could see the cloud around him, and saw him like he had white hair. And so it's much to think about and pondering and understand this, that man doesn't understand these things if they not read the Torah or read the Bible, or or read the Quran in the spirit, they can't figure it out in the way of see it and think it like it is in this world, because the spirit world is something else, and you know it because how I have talking to you and what the spirits that's coming through here, what they are saying. Yeah. I don't brag, or I am not proud of it, but it was something special that this higher priest stood in my room in year 2000, not in 1999, not in 2001. He was standing in my room 2000, and I was haunted very hard of the devil because he didn't want it to happen, but he never get the victory, so he failed in this, because I know the higher priest come before I go into the sea and kill myself. So this is how I see it, but I try to not be proud or take it as a brag about it. But it's something to think about and pondering of. And it's very sad that I can't reach out to people. I reach out to you that listen, but it's too few people. But I have said that before, that it's not on me. It's those in the spirit world that have to come to take people here to my podcast and hear it and make them understand what it's all about, what the spirits are talking about. They must give them open door to understand also. And I tell you that I have had hard with my podcast. It's have been attack my podcast, not this platform that is SoundCloud, that platform working good, but I have other platforms for the podcast. And in this night I was very much in writing to the support for the platforms, and it was a business for makeup and perfume and these things. That business have taken over my podcasts, not giving people the episodes, but make people be target to their websites. And I talk about my providers' support, and they didn't understood, and I have to educate them. I say that I have working on internet since 1994 as a professional web designer, so I can read all these codes that is for your podcast. I can go in and check it out, and then I saw it that there was another business company that was included in this code. So So I have 0 listener on that podcast. It had been my best podcast platform in the first time. I had many thousands that listen on that platform, and suddenly it was only 1, 2 that come and listen, and it was dead. And now today in the morning I see it's laying a line only, it's 0. So I have to work on that to place it back to where it was. So I am attacked, and it's the same with the Facebook. I'm attacked all the time. That Facebook is saying to me that I should change my password. They say someone tried to go into your account. They write me, write to my email and say that you have to change your password because someone tried to go into your Facebook account. And that is almost every week I have to change my password, and I have a password that is 15 characters long with all kind of, it have not any real words in it. It have no names. It's only a mix of letters, and still they say someone trying to come in to your Facebook account. So the devil is very hard on me, but it doesn't matter because God is here, and all I get the confirm now. They are saying they are with me, and I have not to be worried. But the thing is that I have to work so hard to place back all those things that the devil have stolen from me, and it takes time to do this work, and it's hard for me as my brain is not good to put together things. I remember everything, but I can't put together one part to another part of these things. So far have it not been when I'm talking about my experience of God and my life. It have not been in that way, but it's very hard like it was not before, when it's about the technical things about the websites, to put those codes together. It's very hard on my brain. I'd be very tired, and I have to go to sleep more. So it's a fight still, even if the devil can't come and destroy it, but he can come and do a mess. It's what God have told the devil about me and my life. Is you can mess up her life, but you can never kill her. And that's the same with my work. You can mess up her work, but you can't destroy it total. You can't. And the more the devil is trying to mess up for me, the more I buy platforms. I find out new platforms all over the world. So then I buy them also to could spread more. So the God can use the devil for me to go forward in the work for him. Now my neighbor are coming home and they start to make those loudly noise the whole day long now. But I'm going to drive out to not hear those noise they doing. I thank you for listen, and God bless you. And I hope you understand what I'm talking about. It's very important for you that you listen on all my episodes, or else it's very hard for you to understand it. If you start to listen you can start to listen at this episode, but you have to find out more by listen to my old episodes. And the best is to listen to all the episodes, because it's in most of the episodes it describe for you what it's all about, and you can't come and only listen to one episode and then throw it away, and that was not for me like that, when you don't know what I'm talking about earlier in my podcast. So God bless you. Thank you for listening.